Yeah, so I got to go through the teams here, boys. Hang on. LA's not going to work. Minnesota, yeah, they'll work on the salary cap wise, but Broden, Kuma, no. If we're giving up Ekman Larson, I want one of the best defensemen in the NHL. PK Subban, nah, he's like $7 million. That's way too much. Nickel, let's see this guy. I think I've crossed over his name a few times. Yeah, nothing special. Nothing special. Yeah, let's go through the teams here that can afford it, and then we'll see if they have any good defensemen. New Jersey. I could go after Ekman Larson, and he's got 3 years left, which is the perfect amount. But he's got a full trade value, so I'm gonna have to. I'll have to get a lot. I'll probably have to add like a draft pick in there to get Ekman or Adam Larson back. Beaulieu, no. Dumba might work. Let's see this guy, two-way defenseman. He's got amazing defensive category, 91, 92, and then offensive category is good as well. He's only got 1 year left. I'll be able to sign him, re-sign him next year, long term. He'll be 25 years old, only 87 overall. Yeah, I think Dumba would work. So would Hamnick, both of them, but Dumba's younger. Beaulieu, I mean, I gave Beaulieu, but I want to go for defenseman with with a better defensive category now. He was great, but he really doesn't have an offensive or he really doesn't have a defensive or athleticism category at all. And he's 26, like he's hitting his prime. And he had 2.7. I wanted to free that up. I think Dumba would be a great choice here, boys. They won't even accept that. Why won't they accept that? Oh, they're at 9.5 as well. Jesus, I didn't even see that. All right, that's not going to work. The Rangers would work. Hang on a sec. Any young guys signed long term? McDonough signed. He's 5.7 though. That's a lot of money. No, I don't like that. It's too much money. These guys are a bit too old as well. Nope, no one there. Ottawa, Carlson. Oh my God, Carlson, 12.3 over the 7 years. Jesus, he's too much. Nope, they don't really have anyone. Philly. Let me just run through these teams here, boys. Philly, no. Phoenix. Yandel, way too much money. Runbland, and let's see how good they are. Just to see. Offensive defenseman. He's not bad, but no. We can find another better player. Pittsburgh, they can't afford it. San Jose, they can afford it. See this Pilton guy? Is he any good? Two-way defenseman. Nah, he doesn't have the greatest defensive category. I'll skip on him. St. Louis, no, they don't have the salary. Toronto doesn't have the salary. Vancouver, Kindle, and these might be two guys that we may be able to get, kind of thing. Manuel Kindle, defensive defenseman, 26 years old. He's got a good defensive category, good offensive category. Not the greatest athleticism. All right, he's not bad. All right, Phila Trot, or whatever you call him. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Filet Tralt. Defensive defenseman, same kind of thing. But just above average categories for offense and defense, and not the greatest athleticism. But they're both very cheap, and they can afford the salary. All right, so far, Vancouver is our number one. Yeah, Vancouver is our number one team that we can go after. All right, I'll remember that. Vancouver's our number one guys, because this is a big contract that we have to move. It has to work just right with the team as well. So Vancouver, Calgary, maybe. Maybe Calgary, Shattenkirk. We could get Shattenkirk back, but at 5.3, we're gonna let him stay in his new home. Edler, no. Just there's nobody to take, and the teams that do have good players to take, they just don't have the salary. Like Carolina, they have two guys down here that we can't take them though. They don't have the salary to do it. Chicago, no, same thing. The guys are too old or the salary is too much. And now we're back at Colorado, and I can't take these two guys. These Zaprikin and Donne, I can't take them both because they're not on the starting team. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna have to be. What about this Boaz and CC guy? Hang on, CC two-way defense. No, he's got no defensive category. Vancouver was still better. Detroit. I know I've already gone through it. I just want to make sure. Yeah, we've done it. It's got to be because, it can't be Florida. They have too much salary tied up right there. It's got to be Vancouver. All right, so this is the trade that we're going to do. This is the only trade that we can do. We're going to get this Kindle and Phila Tralt guy. Two defensive defensemen with above average defensive categories, and they can still get better because they have C's and they're only 26 years old. All right, a great offensive category, so they're getting it done on both tiers there. They don't have the great athleticism category, but that's okay. We can work with that. This guy is not as good as the other guy, but yeah, they're sound in every individual category in the offensive and defensive category. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can take both these guys. All right, Philtrot and Kendall. There you go. All right. What is this, Ryan Murray? Is this Ryan Murray? Yes, it is. He really didn't turn out to be a good defenseman. He's good in the defensive category, not good in the offensive category. Now, we'll leave him in there. Is there anyone else that they have, any young guys that we can steal? Because we are giving up a lot here. 23 years old, Harrison. Let's check this guy out. Luke Harrison. No, we don't need him. Vernace. Let's see this guy. I've seen this guy's name pop up in your comments a lot. No, we don't need him either. 24 years old, Fontaine. See this guy, Jarrett Fontaine, sniper, BD. He already has a D for the. He really doesn't want to play defense, eh? Jesus. And then I guess the last guy, yeah, Ernie guy, 24 years old. He's kind of getting old up there, but he's actually not that bad. But we don't need another player like that. No, we don't need another player like that. We'll just get some draft picks back as well for this. All right. There we go. Give me some draft picks. There we go. I'll add in my 7th, my 6th, and my 5th, and my 7th for the year after that. There you go. All right, so we're going to go with Ekman Larsson, our one defenseman. All right, we're going to get 2 above-average defensive defensemen. They could play on the third line, if anything. All right, they're good enough to play on the second or first line, I'm just saying. But we have other young guys who are ready to come up as well. And all the key defensemen that I wanted, the team just didn't have the salary cap available to take on Ekman Larsson. And this way, we're saving up $6.4 million worth of salary cap space to sign guys like Nick Ritchie, Piero Zobatel. We can sign about 3 of them probably with that kind of salary cap space available now, all right? And with the 2 defensemen, we don't need to sign Jordan Subban or anyone like that. We have our 6 defensemen now. All right, boys, and we're getting the 3 first-round picks. I don't think this will go. I don't think this will go through, but we'll get it to go through with a second or something. So will it go through? We'll have to say no. All right, so give me a second instead of one of the first. Will it go through? Yes, it did. This is a really good deal for us here in Vancouver. All right, so Vancouver just got a super stud of a defenseman, and we have $7.3 million to work with our salary cap. So if we go to contracts now, all right, we go over here to this stage with all these restricted free agents. Now we can start to fill up our 6 defensemen. It's going to be Hedman, Fensky, Kindle, Bisson, Philitrout. We're going to learn how to pronounce that name. And Bowen. I want to sign Bowen. That's who it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Subban, he doesn't have the greatest defensive category. More of an offensive player. All right, he's got the B minuses still. But Bowen proved himself in last year's playoffs. And he's already a stud in the defensive category. Look at his defensive category and look at his athleticism. All right, he's already a stud back there. But we already picked up 2 other defensive defensemen, so maybe we could go for an offensive defenseman. So actually, I won't do the signings just yet. I'll let you guys help me out with that. Subban or Bowen. All right, I'll leave that to you guys because it actually looks like we have a bunch of defensive defensemen now. But still, Subban's defensive category really isn't the greatest. All right, so I'll let you guys discuss that. Subban or Bowen. We're proven with Bowen. Our Hacken, we can actually look at Hacken as well. All right, there's Hacken. I think he's more of a defensive defenseman, and Bowen was better, so it still is between Bowen and Subban for me. All right, all these guys down here. Kalous we'll look at. Pody. These guys aren't good. No, they're still AHL players. Yeah, Kalous is still an AHL player. Pody, I'm pretty sure, is still an AHL player. Yeah, he's still an AHL player. There you go. Right wingers now. Nielsen we can sign. All right, actually, I'll just go to forwards. And which forward should we sign? I don't think we signed Rahak. We got to sign Ritchie and then Piero Zobatel, I think. All right, so I think it's got to be one of the defensemen, Jordan Subban or Bowen, and then Piero Zobatel and Nick Ritchie, and then Nelson and Rahak. I mean, maybe they accept the tender qualifying offer. Maybe if we have enough money, we can send them offers. But other than that, I think the top 3 that we got to get, Ritchie, Zobatel, and Bowen or Subban. I'll put that to you guys, all right? But there you go. That's why we got rid of Beaulieu and Shattenkirk, so that we could trade away Ekman Larson. Didn't get any of these stud defensemen back that we wanted, but we reloaded our team, all right? We're young once again. Pair of 26-year-olds that have a good 8 years in them still, all right? And their contracts are coming up next year so that we can sign them long-term next year while they're still young and they're not in the 90 overalls just yet, all right? So there you go. Trying to reload, not trying to rebuild. We're trying to reload so we can win that Stanley Cup again, boys. So let me know. Which defenseman should we sign, and free agency? Should we try to make another splash or just go from here? Because our team still does look pretty stacked to me. All right? Take it easy, boys.